Hello, this is Creator Showcase. I'm Amy Stone, and today in this episode, I'm talking to Lauren Roche about the naked truth with Lauren. In each episode, I speak with a woman who is a creator. She's making a podcast or a YouTube channel, maybe even a newsletter, maybe something else. Here at Creator Showcase, what we do is talk about what they create, what it is, and who it's for. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Share with us. It's here on the screen for people watching on YouTube. But what is the name of your show? And is there a story behind the name?
Yeah, thanks for asking and thanks for having me. So the name of the show is The Naked Truth with Lauren. It started in 2024 and it was born after dealing with my own mental health struggles with the original goal to destigmatize mental health and kind of open up the conversation around the subject and help other women in their 20s feel less alone.
Women in their 20s. All right. Very good. What is the format of your show? Does that question make sense? Like, are you audio? Are you video? What is the format?
So it's both. So it started as audio only, and then about halfway through season one, I did video too, but the video was only available on Spotify,
Okay.
not anywhere else. And then season two, which started in April, I started the YouTube too. So the video is available on YouTube and Spotify, and then it's audio only on the other platforms.
Is it interview? Is it solos? Share with us what we can expect.
So it's a mix of both. I do solo and interview, and it started with one solo episode just explaining like how the podcast became a thing, my own struggles and strategies that I've used to improve my mental health. Then I started interviewing friends and family, and then it's expanded, and I've interviewed kind of experts in the space. I've interviewed some psychologists and therapists most recently. And then sometimes I will do solo episodes focused on a particular topic.
I love that mixture, and I appreciate you explaining how you stepped from yourself to your small circle and then to larger circles and people with higher credibility. That is very good. How would you describe what the show is about and who is in the audience listening and watching to the show?
So the show, season one was more of a grab bag free for all. Whatever I was feeling, whatever anyone wanted to talk about, their own journeys, their own struggles with mental health, navigating adulthood, the messy realities of what that entails. And season two is a bit more focused. The higher level theme is navigating the messy realities of your 20s. So it's primarily focused on like women navigating their 20s. And my audience, I mean, there are women and men listen. It's majority women right now, and it's majority Gen Z and millennials. So like anywhere between 23 to I think 34 years old is like my main group that listens.
All right, so a follow-up question, which is, so your audience is people in their 20s, Gen Z, and millennials. Does your guest profile match that? I'm just curious. Like, are your guests also in those same age groups, or are they in sometimes a little older?
That's a really good question. So I have content pillars. I have three and a half. I say the half because it's optional. I was using a tool to help me brainstorm, and I kind of am focused on the three content pillars. And if I have more time and energy, I'll hop on the fourth. But the one is just surrounding my own story. So that's like solo episodes. The second is women who are in the thick of it in their 20s,
Okay.
navigating their 20s from like a peer perspective. And then the third one is how to be a human in your 20s. And it's been primarily older women or just like experts who are sharing advice and wisdom.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So, is there a community or a location that this is built around? I know where you are, but I don't know if this is location dependent on this. If you reach everybody, or if there's a specific community of people that the topic of this show is for.
That's a really good question. So, I mean, based on my stats, a lot of my listeners live in the DMV because I'm in DC. So, and I've done events too. And if I
Yeah.
do in-person events, it's in that area, but it's not limited. I have listeners from like all over the world. And I think mental health is just such a pervasive topic and everyone can benefit because we're all humans with brains, with health that ebb and flow. So, I think it's really expansive.
All right, I love that. Okay, so tell us, you told us this a little bit, but is there more you want to share about the show's origin story, like how you got it started?
Yeah, I guess I could dive deeper. So I moved to the Washington, D.C., like downtown in particular in 2022, and I was going through a really tough time dealing with anxiety and depression. And so I was feeling alone, navigating my own struggles, finding a therapist licensed in the area, getting on some mental health medication for the first time. And then about, well, this started in 2024, so I guess it was like a year and a half later. Once I got myself in a good place and I had extra time and energy outside of my 9 to 5, I had been like thinking of this project for a while and I had been journaling about my life purpose, what I believe is to help enhance the mental health of society as a whole and like help with destigmatization of the subject. And so I like looked inward of basically um, identifying my strengths, which one of them is interviewing, and then identifying interests and what platform matched up with it. And podcasting is very easily accessible. Like all you need is like I got a cheap mic off of Amazon and you don't have to like pay to enter this space. Like, you just like can create a podcast and say, "Oh, I host a podcast now." So it was like very accessible and seemed to align with my strengths and passions.
Very nice. I love the honesty that you gave there because I agree with all of the points there, and I think it's important. All right, so what makes your show unique or different? Because there are so many shows these days. It is an open platform that anybody can create one. What makes the Naked Truth with Lauren different or unique?
It's also a good question. I received feedback that it is refreshingly raw and honest. So I think there's like no rules. Like I tell guests when they come on, there's no rules. We can talk about anything you want. I think it hits on some deep topics, especially in season one, more so. I think season two is a little bit lighter so far. But season one hits on some heavy content and there or topics. There's some content or trigger warnings in there, but I think it's like the things that people don't usually talk about, and so we're not afraid to go deep or go there and like just kind of talk. It's like a friend to friend approach or like from a peer lived experience perspective. Like I am not a mental health professional, come from a business background. So I make it very clear that it's like a peer, like speaking from lived experience perspective. So I think it's kind of like making the topic accessible.
Very good. I think that's very good. All right. So, is there a topic or a guest that's coming up that you are looking forward to on the show? Who knows when people will watch this and listen to it? So, it could be in the past, but right now in this moment, what are you working on that you're excited about for your show?
Yeah, I have a whole backlog of recordings that are already recorded that I'm excited about. One in particular in a couple weeks that's coming out, and we're recording this in June. I don't know when you're publishing this, but it's I interviewed a psychologist who is also, let me just get this right. I want to get her title right. I interviewed a licensed psychologist who also serves as the director of George Washington University's Counseling and Psychological Services. So she has a lot of experience
Yes.
about how to date with self-worth. So this falls in that third content pillar of like how to be a human in your 20s.
Yeah.
And we talk all about dating and the ups and downs and how to navigate it with confidence.
That is really cool. I mean, she's in an interesting spot because that's a peak time in growing up and needing support. So I bet she has a lot of helpful stuff to share with people in that demographic. I think that's very, very good. What kind of person are you looking for as a listener or a viewer in your audience? Like, who are you hoping shows up in the audience for your show?
I'm hoping women around my age, so like women in their 20s who might be struggling mentally. And again, this is not a replacement for therapy. might already be in therapy or just using different mindfulness tools, but feeling like they want more. Maybe they're feeling alone and they want to feel less alone and kind of relate to someone in the not so perfectly curated social media version of life that we see online.
Very good. I love that because I know that you have a wonderful online presence and you love social media. It's one of my favorite things about talking to you in a different age group that, it is such a different experience with social media for all of us in different spots. And so very good. All right. This is the time for you to share with people what are the best ways for people to find this show?
Great question. So the website is probably the best place to find everything having to do with The Naked Truth with Lauren, including the show. And it's just literally thenakedtruthwithlauren.com. You can find it on YouTube. I think the channel is like the handle is The Naked Truth with Lauren.
Okay.
Instagram is the main social platform for the podcast. That's at thenakedtruth.pod. And then it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, GoodPods, Pocket Casts, wherever you get your podcasts. It's just The Naked Truth with Lauren.
That's the blessing and the curse of the audio podcast. It's an open platform, and so it is everywhere. And the challenge with that is that for the audio platforms, you have to get that RSS feed, plug it into the one that you like. And that makes it that funny way we share audio podcasts. It's like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm in all these other places. I'm also over here, and I'm here, and I'm there.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Well, I host on Spotify for creators right now and just plug it in once and then it distributes everywhere. So it makes
It
it
is, yeah. And, most people, I don't know about your show, but most people listen to my shows on the two big platforms, Apple and Spotify. So, it's like it is on all of these other places, but mainly people are listening there and then YouTube for mine. That is wonderful. Thank you, Lauren, so much for being the very first person to take me up on this opportunity to be a part of the Creator Showcase.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Amy.
That's a wrap. So you may have guessed that this was the very first Creator Showcase, and I want to say thank you very much to Lauren again for being the very first guinea pig. I encourage you to like this video and hit subscribe for the channel if you're interested in finding out about other shows made and created by women, or if you're interested in being a part of the Creator Showcase yourself. Thanks for watching. The Creator Showcase is a copyrighted work created and produced by Amy Stone and Amy Says So. The music was written and produced by Todd Thompson at Dharma Mom Studios, and all rights are reserved. Anything expressed on the show is offered as entertainment, and the views of the guests may not always represent the ideas and viewpoints of the host, other guests, or anybody else involved. Amy Stone does not intend or hold myself, out to provide professional advice or recommendations of any kind. In the end, you and you alone need to make any of those decisions based on your own personal and individual situation, needs, circumstances, and comfort level. Yeah, it's a little weird for me to speak about myself in the third person, but you get the idea.